Hello everybody, welcome back to the Whiskey Edition, Christmas New Year's edition. Tonight we are going to taste through 10 different bourbon whiskeys and ryes from the Fred Minnick Top 100. 6 or 7 of these I had in the inventory, waiting to get to do something special with. 3 I didn't necessarily seek out, but I went to several liquor stores over the last week or so, over the weekend, and was able to find 3 more, and those 3 happen to be in his top 25. Now they are not the actual top 3. They are in the top 25 of his list. And so you saw on the B-roll spinning around on the turntable thing, what is going to be my challenge, because this is my biggest ever taste through, and I'm a little worried about it, is I've got 10 cups, 10 bottles. None of them are opened, but they will be for this, to randomize all of these. So I am going to go on the fast mode while I probably talk up here in the corner about the list and all that, or maybe not. I haven't decided if I'm going to put that in yet. Or as I pop the cork and fill them, I'll just do them one after the other, and that might work out pretty good too. So however this works out, we'll see on the other side. The randomization is going to be the problem, and I don't have anybody here that can come in and blind them and all that, so I'm going to do the best I can. And because there's so many, there's no left to right, right to left, so I've got pre-made stickers, 1 through whatever, so after I randomize them, whichever one I pick out of the pile will get the number. And then I've got a book, Whiskey Business, that I can write the number of which in. And then when it's done, I can go back and check them and fill that in, and maybe figure out what I think are my favorites, not based on Fred's favorites. So the order that you see them here on the B-roll is his least to most favorite. The lowest number, well, that doesn't work either. Frey was like 98. This Booker's Texas Tea, not Texas Tea, Kentucky Tea. My mom drinks Texas Tea. Kentucky Tea, highest on his list, or the lowest number. So it's, I think, 6, and then there's WLW in there, and a couple others, and we'll see that on the list up here. So let's get to popping. We'll start with the Frey Ranch. Woodinville. Remus 6. Oh, that sucked. It's like the weakest cork ever. Elijah Craig B522. A122. The Bookers. Ooh. Larceny 922. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good pop. Now we have all of these laid out. They are not mixed up. I will do try to mix them all up. I kind of know which was which, but the guy at the liquor store had a good idea. He said use the red Solo Cup shots because it's better plastic, and then you can't see the color. So I can see from the coloration right now that the top 5 versus the bottom 5 in coloration is quite a bit different, which is very interesting. And the finishing's different. I think this is tawny port finish. And what I'm not gonna do is maybe a few notes here and there, but you don't wanna see me wade through all these. Matt's gone through a bunch. Fred has gone through a bunch. This is in honor of Fred. Fred went through all of them because they're off of his list. And I didn't have an ascot, so this is just a tie that I've kind of pushed in here to look like an ascot. In honor of his recommendations. I'm gonna mix these up, and then we'll get to tasting them. And I've got the numbers on, so with the first one I taste, we'll get a 1, and I've got my terrible towel back here that has whiskey advice on it. And so let's get to, so what I have done is I've taken his list off the website, put it into a spreadsheet with my inventory over here. And so this is his, and what I wanted to see was what I had in my inventory at the end of this year that he put on his top 100. And for a while I was pretty depressed. But so right off the bat, here's the Frey Ranch Quad Malt. So I believe this is the one I have. It's in the big Herkin bottle you saw in the opening. The blue is what is down the street at my local liquor store, and I could have picked up if I had wanted to spend even that much more money. And as we get farther down this list, you'll see where I'm kind of screwed. Anyway, Angel's Envy Cast Strength, they have this on occasion. They didn't have it today, but that's a regular. They did have the BRT 02 for $79 before tax. Woodinville Whiskey Straight Rye, I believe I did go and buy this because I felt I should have it anyway, and it was only, no, I did go buy it. Did I? I forgot. Jeez. Bradshaw Bourbon, I do not have batch 7, I have batch 2, so I'm not including that. B522, that was on the shelf at far more than $70. BRT 01, I believe he had that one, and I can probably find that one with a couple stops. I do have a Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. I just picked up a Remus Repeal before his list came out. Uncle Nearest, they have that on the shelf down there, and I did not include that one yet. I haven't purchased that. One of these Redwood Empire Grizzly Bourbon Bottled in Bonds. I have one of these, but it's not batch 2. I'm not sure how you tell which batch it is, so I did not include that one. I did have this 522 I had picked up. The Willet 8-year they had in a case, a locked case with an armed guard at $250. Don't get fooled again on that. Here's these Redwood Empires Rocket Top Bottled in Bond. I believe that one they did have on the shelf at about $130. Sagamore Spirit, I know where I could get that one, I believe. Did not include that. The only reason I included this Thomas Handy was because it is actually sort of available. Where did that go? Shoot. Down in the street, 500 bucks. So that one probably won't happen. So I could go get that one at $500. Some of it goes to charity, which is good. I had this A122 Barrel Seagrass Rye. That one's readily available, though it flies off the shelf. And he didn't have any. So then we get into the top 25. And so what I did here was I had the I had the Lumberyard batch. I had this one, as you can see on the turntable. I added this Larceny Barrel Proof C922. I could have added this Elijah Craig C922. I did add the Doc Swinson's. This to me felt very challenging to find, similarly to this one, which I just added this afternoon or tonight. These two were obviously on that other list that I flashed up there real quick. So while these weren't necessarily available to me where this one was, these two, if I had been there earlier on Christmas Eve at the store and it wasn't announced, so this is a lot of ifs in there, those could have been put at $500 a bottle, which likely would not have happened at this point. I'll wait for a friend to have a sample for me. So we're gonna just do the ones in green, and that's 10. That's pretty well mixed, I think. I mean, this is number 1. I don't know the distiller yet. I don't know any of that stuff. So we'll just, this one, I think it's number 1. Oh, I gotta let them open up anyway. I'll put this one back here. Stand by. I'll let them open up. Okay, I've let these air out, open up, as it were. We'll pick number 1 from my random picking. I'll probably just go through these, sniff, sip, write some notes, 1 through 10. That way you guys, you all don't have to suffer through the whole bit, because it is kind of a bit. Fred is serious, Matt is serious. I don't think Sean and Dan are serious. Mark, Northwest Bourbon, that guy is serious. Me, not so much. This will be what I like out of the 10 and see how it matches up. So I'll get to it. Well, that was very exciting. Going through these, I can't say that there was any, there was one that was, not the first one was, to me, the most flavorful. And then, they kind of kind of wandered around for a bit. So I'm not sure if I should go back through and see if the top, maybe the top four, my top four that I put on my book here, that I like the best, and check those again. Maybe I should do that and just let the others kind of fall where they might. I don't know how he did it. I think he whittled that 100 down from 800. That's a lot of, so he knows what the hell's going on. Me, not so much. But you know, like I was just listening to a podcast, I think it was Bourbon Real Talk, and on it they were saying, you like what you like, and if you don't like something, somebody else might like it. So let's at least look at the top four. Let's see, well, which was number 1, maybe number 4, number 9, and 8. So these were kind of my top 4. These maybe we'll go back real quick and revisit. Maybe we can rank these 6 and these 4. It was my top 4. Let's do number 1 again. Well, I'll do this, and you can just. Yeah, this has the most nose, most flavor. I would almost put this one here. So those were my top ones. Go back through these others. Put that one, this one last. This of the bottom 6 is my favorite. Then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. So we'll do it like this. This is the bottom 6. And this is the order of the top 4. All right. So let's start. So this was bottom. Yeah. So I got to start here and go this way and then this way. Anyway. So number 5, I had no real nose notes, kind of floral coating, original and stringent. I thought this is, oh, the Booker T. Kentucky T was the last. Oh, shoot. God, that was the number one. That's why I bought it, because it was the highest one on the list I could find. Number 10. Jeez, what? B522. So that is Elijah Craig, B522. Number 2. Almost weird, something, can't even read my own writing. Woodish, meh. So in the meh category, something may have changed. This was the Doc Swinson's. Jeez. Tawny Port. I was excited to find this because it's so unique. How could Fred have this on the other side of the frickin' country? Get my ass out up here. I fall down all the freaking. My Tycot. This is, oh man. So this is number 7. Oh, Woodinville rye. 3. Next was number 3. This is Frey Ranch. Number 6, Remus. Nose on the Remus, floral, quick finish, not too alcohol forward, but it seems smoother, very smooth. Mark at Northwest Bourbon did a full rundown on his Whiskey Quickie, so maybe it wasn't a full rundown on the Remus 6, so I recommend you watch that. Number 4, Larceny 922. What did I have? A bit spicy, nutty. I think that's the thing about Larceny, is that nuttiness for me comes through pretty quick. Pretty smooth, coating, spicy. Number 8, because I got it out of order. Oh, the triple mash. God. And this is how you know I'm being honest. I had the triple mash with my friends over in Spokane, and it was awful. It was, oh, but it may have just been what it was up against. Fred has it really high. I would have put it in the drain pour category right off the batch, so I guess we can see that doing it in this way completely changes the game. Number 9, Booker's Lumberyard. Had something initially, the taste was spicy for sure, long finish, hot and floral. Makes A122 for me, number 1. For me, AC 122. Number 9 was Booker's Lumberyard. 8, triple mash, are you kidding me? Number 4, 922 Larceny. 6, Remus. Frey Ranch. 7, Woodinville Rye. 8 is 2. It's kicking in. Woo! Tawny Port. Doc. B522. And number 10 is number 5. Kentucky Tea. Crazy. Absolutely freaking crazy. So Fred's list in the top 25 had the Kentucky Tea the highest. It's in the list. And then the Doc Swinson's, which I have at, so I have the Kentucky Tea last, the Doc Swinson's Tawny Port second to last, the Woodinville Rye, it's way over there. He has it much lower on his list. I have it kind of in the middle with the Frey Ranch. The Remus, I have it pretty high. Larceny 922, I've heard this was very good. Some people at Bob's, which is closing, which is sad, had bought both 2 or 3 bottles while they were there. They liked it so much, so that was pretty good. The triple mash, having had that at a buddy's house when we compared it to the bonded and Sinatra and regular, this was, maybe it was just the bottle. To me, it was not that great. Fred has it pretty high. I don't think it's in the top 25. I'm pretty sure it's not in the top 25, but it's in the top 100 of his. Lumberyard, number 2. So there's one in the box. Was my number 2, and my number 1 was the Elijah Craig 122, which is kind of in the middle for him. So it's all about your taste and what you can get, what you appreciate. And doing it this way is maybe a little challenging because 10 is tough Can't imagine doing more than that in one sitting. Probably shouldn't. And I think they recommend no more than 4. But I wanted to get this out for my tens and tens of viewers. Like, comment, subscribe, and you know, like I always say, pour an extra glass, because you never know who's going to stop by. I don't know if I finished it right. Yeah, my ascot slipped. My ascot slipped down. My tie cot slipped. So, there we go. Now what do I do with all these? I got to drink them. Kentucky tea. I can't believe this was... I'll have to go find why he liked this so much. Because this is... Kentucky tea is like number 6 out of 100 behind William LaRue Weller, and I think Stagg and a couple others. I'm like, and those are not quite unobtainium, but pretty close from a cost and a scarcity standpoint. I'm not saying that Kentucky tea is easier to get, but really? I had it last. Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing.